the shocking Social Security forecast that was just released, and what it means for your monthly checks. Wow, this is a surprising one, and I have all the details for you here in the video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. All right, now just the other day, we got the all-important inflation report. Now, it's not all about that, but at the end of the day, remember, the inflation reports that are released every single month do directly impact your monthly benefit checks eventually. Right now, as we're still very early on in 2025, these reports don't exactly affect your monthly benefit, but as we do get into the summer months, July, August, and September, the third quarter of the year, that is when we start taking all this inflation data into consideration because it will eventually translate into your cost of living adjustment for next year, 2026. Now, obviously, we just recently turned over to 2025 a few weeks ago, so we don't want to sit here and talk about 2026 already, but at the end of the day, we still do want to watch the trajectory and the trend of this inflation that's out there, because at the end of the day as well, it impacts our monthly benefit checks in a variety of ways. Number one, it increases prices on goods and services that we're buying with our small, very limited monthly benefit, especially after the little teeny tiny pathetic 2.5% raise that we got this year that was mostly eaten up by the Medicare Part B premium. Thank you very much. Yeah, we love that. Not. But anyway. So that's the situation that's happening, right? So that's number one. It impacts the prices of goods and services, but then also, like I just said, it actually does impact our monthly benefit checks as inflation continues to rise. And then we get into the third quarter of the year, and they take that sample for the third quarter, they compare it year over year, and then the difference is the COLA that we get the following year, just like we're experiencing now with the 2.5%. But anyway, let me share with you some interesting forecasts and projections that were released based on this new inflation data that was released. Okay, there's a range here, a range. Okay, it's a kind of a funny range here, but I want to share with you what's going on. Now, obviously, we're still way too early on right now to know what the 2026 COLA is going to be. I don't even want to stick that out there right now because it's just so far away. I mean, literally, we're still very early on in 2025 right now. That's still a year away. Well, until it gets implemented, but it's honestly not that many months away until we start gathering that data to figure out what it's going to be. However, now that we got the inflation data for the previous month here, we're starting to see some projections out there. It's kind of interesting because, the forecasting is very early. It's like a weather forecast. It's like, yeah, I think in 3 months from now, the weather is going to be X. Okay, you can probably get kind of close because you can kind of, map out the time of year, but it's still very vague. And good luck, right? There's going to be a huge range. Well, it's kind of the same situation here. Based on this inflation data, I find this to be very interesting. They've come together with a new potential forecast or projection as far as the 2026 COLA. I know, right? But I find this to be fascinating. But what's more fascinating is the range that they're coming up with, okay? Based on this most recent inflation data, they are suggesting a potential 2.1% COLA for 2026, based on the information right now. However, if we continue to see inflation dropping, right? Which, by the way, inflation has been coming down very slowly. Over the last couple of years here, we've pretty much stalled out right around the high 2%, kind of right around that 3% range. We've basically been stalled out for many months now. We've just been oscillating a little bit. But the point is, it's going to take a lot longer to get down to the Federal Reserve's focus, which is 2%. Good luck on that one. I don't know if that's going to happen. If it does, it's going to take a long time. Anyway, so the projections are coming in as a 2.1% potential COLA for 2026. That is a very long time from now, but that's just what they're saying. However, here's the part that I find ridiculous, pathetic, humorous, whatever word you want to insert there, just put it in there. But here's what they're saying. If inflation continues at the trajectory that it's moving now, we could see a COLA of 0.06%. What is that? That's 6/100ths of 1%. Let's just call it zero, because that's literally what it is. It's zero. That's what it is, okay? That's ridiculous. So in other words, we have a range here, a forecast range projection for the 2026 COLA based on the most recent inflation data here, coming in between 0.06, not 0.6 of 1%, 6/100ths of 1%, and 2.1%. You see that? Okay, so now remember this year, for 2025, we got a 2.5%. That was, not very good. It didn't do much for a whole lot of people, especially with the Medicare Part B premium increase of $10.30. That really didn't help us out at all, right? That ate up a huge percentage of the overall COLA for a lot of beneficiaries, especially the lower income beneficiaries. But if we got a 2.1%, that would also be even worse. We would get less money, right? But if we got a 0.06% COLA, again, count it as zero. It's literally zero. Now, okay, maybe numbers and percentages and decimals and stuff like that are maybe not your strong point. If that's the case, that's okay. Think of it this way. Here's a really nice analogy to think of this 0.06% raise. Think of it this way. You have $1 or you have 100 pennies, right? 100 pennies. How do you make $1 out of that? You collect 100 pennies. Well, in this case, a 0.06% raise of a COLA would be 6 pennies out of the entire dollar. That's what that is. 6/100ths of 1%, right? So there you go. So my point is here, if we were to get a 0.06% raise, 6 pennies out of $1, is that worth anything? No, absolutely not, right? They're good for nothing. They're good for putting on a railroad track and smearing into a little copper smear that you can give to your kid or your grandkid, right? That's about all they're good for. So anyway, by the way, don't do that. That's defacing money, and I think that's illegal. I'm just saying. My point is not saying I've done it. I'm just saying, okay? But my point is 6 pennies is worth nothing. It's garbage at that point, okay? But anyway, that's the forecast right now, so we'll have to see what happens here. Again, this is just one inflation data point so far for 2025. It's actually honestly not even 2025's inflation data yet. This is still December's inflation data that we just got the other day here. But in February here, we will be getting the January inflation, and then we'll be kind of off to the races here as far as 2025 goes. Anyway, I thought it was interesting. Wanted to share with you how ridiculous prices keep rising and the COLAs keep getting smaller and smaller. The divergence of these, right? Anyway, I hope this helps you. Again, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I just want to keep you posted with what's going on and what I'm finding out there in the headlines. I will continue to be here for you, right by your side every single day. That is my promise. That is my dedication. And as always, I'm sticking to it. I will not deviate from that. I promise you, I've not missed a single day in, 5 years of being here every single day in these videos. Yeah, a lot of videos. Anyway, if I can ask one huge favor of you, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, there's a big subscribe button down below the video. Thank you so much. Please make sure to join the community. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Otherwise, if you can think of 1 or 2 people that benefit from this video or any other of the thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel, or just benefit from knowing me and or this channel and these videos, please feel free to share this one. There's a share button right down below as well. It's 100% free to do so. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Otherwise, check out the well over 5,000 videos here on the channel in the video library or down below in the description or the top of the comment section. I've hand-selected some videos for you there. Check those out. Or right now, popping up your screen as well, you'll see some videos there. Hope you can check out one of those. Otherwise, just stay tuned, and I hope I can see you again soon in another video. Have a